traveling suitcase, and we had to have this really distressed leather that had been around the world and whatnot. So we kind of came up with this technique that worked out really well for us, and I figured I'd share it with you guys because a lot of people were asking about it. It's actually really simple. So the first thing I wanted to say is that I have this this little alligator skin impression plate. It's actually part plastic. I bought it at the cake show 2 years ago. Jennifer was saying Kathy Scott is the one that sells them. So I can't remember what I paid. It was probably like 12, 15 bucks. It's pretty cheap. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's really small. So when you press down on your fondant, you just got to go in a small circle and don't get close to the edges, and then move it and turn it so your pattern turns out pretty well. But what you end up with is, you know, a pretty nice, you know, detailed leather pattern. And so a couple other things I did to construct it was just rolled out a thin little sausage and then a really thin piece of fondant, flipped it over to make the little borders, and then obviously used a stitching wheel.
Which he carries in
Well, I had it for the class, and I was like, oh, I forgot to bring it out. I carry a stitching wheel in my pocket.
He's hardcore.
I told you I'm a cakeaholic.
Yeah, there you go.
But anyway, so obviously just to put your stitches in, it makes it really simple. But that's not really what made that cake kind of come to life. I'm going to show you a technique that we use on a lot of cakes, and it's really bizarre how much we actually use this, but it does do a really good job. So first I just want to explain, I had a kind of a taupey colored, coffee mocha taupe colored fondant, and that's because once leather wears all the way down, you kind of have this like really neutral tone. Then I airbrushed it with a copper that has the pearl in it, so the sheen, and that made it really detailed. Then I actually airbrushed it with actually just chocolate, the regular chocolate color. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to wipe a lot of the paint away, and it makes it look really distressed. So
Brian, say again, what was the base?
the base is kind of like, I really mixed about 50%, about 1/3 chocolate fondant to about 2/3 white fondant, and it really just made this nice little taupe. I mean, it was pretty simple. It doesn't have to be exact. I mean, if it turns out, if you use ivory, you're fine too. Because the idea is that you're going to be painting on it anyway. But you want to get all of your details done and before you paint it, so it's all done beforehand. And when I do the impression on the fondant, I do it while it's laid out on my table before I actually wrap the cake. And I'm just real careful not to stretch it too much and wipe out all the details that I just put into it. But really, once you paint it, you just get a wet rag and you can actually wipe the paint off. Now, I did paint this morning, so hopefully it may take a little longer for it to start to come off. Come on.
So it stays in the cracks.
So it actually stays into the cracks, and you start
It
revealing.
was weathered.
So you get the dark brown in the cracks.
Cool.
It works much better if you do it,
Soon after.
yeah, within about 10-15 minutes. I'm gonna rub one area really hard.
If you're interested in that mold, Kathy Scott's website is sweetexpressions.com.
Does this mold repeat?
Yes,
Okay.
but I turn it a lot. I'm gonna make a mess. Imagine that.
No, not Brian.
Brian's making a mess.
I worry about doing a challenge that I'm making a mess of this thing.
Yeah. So the idea is that what you end up with is just dark brown in the cracks, and you kind of reveal a little bit of your copper, and then ultimately more of your traditional fondant color underneath. So once it's stuck, I let it air dry, you know, for 10-15 minutes, you know, whatever it takes.